Hello everyone, my name is Gabriel and today I'm gonna give you my honest opinion about this board, the Funwheel X7 Long Range. Now, if for whatever reason you have not heard of this board before, the Funwheel is a one-wheel electric skateboard that balances itself. It runs on VESC, which is basically the software that the controller uses, and this means that you can program it whichever way you want to. The LR, for short, is made by Fungineers. Full disclaimer, this board was 100% funded by both the community and Fungineers. I only use my own money to pay for shipping to bring it to Argentina, which, you know, tariffs kill you and whatnot. So there may be some bias in this video, but even with some bias, this board basically speaks for itself. Like, it is ridiculously good. Okay, so let's start with specifications. Now this board weighs 39.5 pounds out of the box. It is on the heavier side of one wheels. The motor is a 6-inch Superflux motor, which is really good. It's been out for years. A lot of people love it. I love it too. And being a 6-inch motor, it means that you can pretty much use any tire you want with it. The standard XR tires will work with this one. Now the battery is a 20S2P split pack. This means that it has batteries on both the front and the back of the board. It uses 50S 21700 cells, which give the battery a total capacity of 720 watt hours. Now this is the biggest battery you can buy in a one-wheel board out of the box, along with the Floatwheel ADV2. Now the price of this board is $2,600. It is not cheap by any measure, but I think you get your money's worth. Now, it is cheap if you compare it to the Future Motion's top of the line one wheels, which are anywhere from $300 to $900 more, and they have less range, less power, and basically take more time to charge. But if you rather stay within the Future Motion ecosystem, well, that's up to you. I'm gonna show you what's on the other side of the fence. Okay, so that being said, let's talk about the things you care about. So design. Design is very subjective, you know, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, but in my opinion, I think the design is pretty good. I think it is quite nice, you know, the board looks really good in all the rail colors. The finish and machining of each bar feels very solid. The only complaint I may have about the design is that the dang bumpers, which is Fungineers' version of bank bumpers, they have a straight slot, you know, for the handle part, whereas the bang bumpers have like a finger-shaped groove thingy that makes it much more comfortable. So if engineers could change that, that would be great. I like the power button. It looks pretty cool. If I could change anything about it, is that I wish it were RGB so that, you know, you could change the color. Rails, you know, the design of the rails is pretty nice. The X7 rails have been out for a while and they're pretty recognizable by now. They were made from CNC aluminum and the quality is pretty good. You can actually see the CNC lines, you know, the lathe, the milling lines from the machining. It's pretty nice. I like this in red. I think they look pretty cool. They have two positions, you know, for riding. They have lower position and the raised position. The lower position is the one that they ship with, which basically, you know, makes you feel very locked in. It drops, it makes the board like a low rider. You feel very stable when you ride it. And the raised position feels like you're riding a stock XR height. So you get the benefit of the angled pads, so you get a lot of friction under your foot, you know, to manipulate the board and steer and stuff. But the overall, you know, height is like stock XR, so it might feel a little bit tippy and wobbly, especially with Thunder tire. So yeah, let's talk about the tire. So I have ridden about 1,000 kilometers by today with this board already. And the tire, when I first got my X7, it felt softer than it does today. I don't know if they changed the material, you know, for the tire from a year ago to today, but this tire feels a little bit hard in comparison. I think I would give this tire a 7 out of 10 because, you know, it gets the job done. It is a hybrid tire. It works for both street and trails, but it can feel a tad tippy. And it will not last you a lot. You know, after 1,000 kilometers of riding, it looks kind of like this. And I'm 170 pounds and I ride at anywhere from 13 to 16 PSI, depending on what I'm doing. Usually for trail riding, I lower the pressure a bit to gain some stability. And as you can see, I'll probably have to change the tire soon. Most of you are going to change this tire anyways because you have a lot of spare tires and you already have a favorite tire to ride with. So if you want to get your money's worth, you can ride this tire for about 1,000 miles or less until it dies out, and you just change it and that's it. The riding experience. Now, this is probably what you care about the most. The riding experience is, well, fantastic. The Thor 301 controller is a very good controller. I have not had any issues so far. It runs very cool along with the Superflux, but then again, I am not a heavy rider, so I don't think I can really overheat this motor. Not even trail riding, it stays cool for me. Maybe a heavier rider will actually get this board to its limit, you know, temperature wise. So about the foot pads, you know, when it comes to foot pad comfort, I think the grip tape of the Stompies is pretty decent. I think it's better than the first X7 I got. They changed it from a year ago. I would personally like to see a soft foot pad option, maybe for the rear foot pad, because I'm very used to my Cush high foot pad on my XRV. But I understand that creating a new SKU foot pad and a different, you know, material can be very troublesome. And Fungineers is not exactly a super company. It's a very small company that is delivering these grid boards. So if I had a wish list, I would add, you know, soft foot pads right there. Okay, so when it comes to actual riding, well, this is a VESC board, so you get all the VESC benefits of personalized tuning. The things I did to this board to my own personal liking are the following. I enabled simple start, which is basically engaging the board with only one side of the foot pad. Future Motion also has this, so it helps you prevent, you know, mounts of shame where you mount the board and it doesn't engage and you look like a moron in front of people. Now, another benefit of the VESC software, I don't know if you can do this with every VESC, you probably can. I don't think this is a feature exclusive to the Thor 301, but it has this feature in which when you lift the board, the light automatically turn off, so it doesn't blind you when you're carrying it, and it only turns on when you're on the ground again, you know, ready to ride. And I think that's pretty cool, so I have that on. You know, I tuned this board to be a very stable street rider. Power is there if I need it, and it rides really good. Now, I'm not a fast rider, so let's talk about speed. Okay, so you care about going fast. Well, this board will not disappoint you. I'm gonna show you the speed test that I did while I talk about it. As I said before, the Thunder tire can feel a tad tippy or wobbly, but if you get comfortable with it or change it, you know, the tire for the tire of your choice, you can hit some serious speeds with this board. If you've seen my videos, you probably know that I'm not a speed demon or anything. I enjoy my rides, you know, with an average speed of 15 to 18 miles an hour. However, this board not only can go fast, it actually invites you to go fast. See, you know, being a 39-pound board, it actually feels very stable under your feet, and the Superflux motor is so powerful that you can, if you need to, you know, ramp up to 25 miles an hour easily. So, you know, you can overtake any slow cyclist in front of you or anything that's in front of you from 0 to 25 miles an hour. It's insane. And as you can see from the speed test, I hit actually like 31 to 32 miles an hour. I'm not doing that again. I felt the nose dip a bit at around 30 miles an hour. I ain't doing this again. So if you want to yourself and lose your teeth, by all means go ahead, but I ain't going faster than this. Holy shit. Wow, that was, wow. That's fast. If you want to, you know, go faster than that, that's up to you. And I did feel some sort of surging going 31 miles an hour. I felt the nose dip. Now, I don't know if I overtorqued the board or if it was actually the battery, but with this tire, at least I would not dare go faster than 30. I think it's way too fast. Yeah, I mean, speed is for speed chasers. I don't know. I'm not a speed guy, so whatever. Okay, so for the past 3 months, I have found myself with a board that basically has a Fast and Furious NOS button. You know, I ride chill, but if I need speed, I can just zoom out of there. I want to saw this video of this guy that that had this custom car. It's probably a meme, I'm gonna put it here. They asked him about his car, like, oh, it doesn't go fast, and he said, it has 3 speeds, you know, here, there, and gone. Well, that's this board. Okay, I set pushback, you know, at 85% duty cycle, and I have not felt it yet. Like, I'm not even sure if this board has haptic buzz or pushback, because the power ceiling is way too high for me, and that's amazing. Okay, if you're a lighter rider, you will be rewarded with great speed, and if you're a heavy rider, you will be rewarded with great torque. Now, range. Now, I've already made a range test video. You can check it out here somewhere where I put it, and it was a rare windy day, and I still got 37 miles of range, you know, out of this board. Now, will you ride that much in just one day? Probably not, but if you need to, you can ride anywhere from 30 to 40 miles in one day, you know, depending on your weight, conditions, and all that stuff. And I have not, and I repeat, I have not worried once about range with this board. Like, there's a reason it's called the long range, and it lives up to it. If you're a person who is literally sick of charging, planning charge stops, carrying your charger with you, or you just feel this overwhelming anxiety of being stuck in the woods with a board that just ran out of juice, well, this is the board for you. Like, this board is heavy, yes, but you can ride this board with nothing on you. Like, no more backpack with a charger, no more extension cables or a book to pass the time. You can just ride all day long, and it's just gonna last that much. You can just explore and get lost and still have range to get back. So to keep this short, you know, this box will give you the most range out of the box from any other board, except maybe the ADV2, which I've not tried yet. Okay, so uphill climbing. You know, for some reason, this has been deemed like one of the tests that you can rank all boards across the realm. I know that some of you want me to climb to Mortar or something, but the nearest mountain I have here is like 1,000 miles away, so bear with me, okay? So here's a compilation of things that I climbed, you know, so far. Basically, the board can climb anything. If I am not being able to climb something, it was just a clearance issue. I either had to turn the ATR up to 8 or something like that, or change the rails to the level, you know, race position. The torque in this board, you know, even being an 84 volt system and not the high voltage one, is just bonkers. Nice. Let's go to the second one.
Okay, so that's level. That's the uphill street. Good luck with that.
Whoa, slow down dude, you're going too fast.
I don't think you can grasp the sheer power of this board. That was absurd. You probably can't tell how steep this is, but believe me, it is very steep.
Vamos con la Pinto, vamos nene, vamos nene, vamos nene, vamos nene. No joda. Subió con la Pinto.
So trail riding. Now, I drove for 1.5 hours with my friends to check out this camp with Trails for You. I know that for Americans, you know, driving 1.5 hours is not that much, but bear with me, please. we tested the X7 in the lower position. I confess, I forgot to race it before the trip, and however, this board performed. I was consistently bunking, riding, hitting 20 miles an hour. There was nothing I thought the board could not go through. The tire with dirt, performs real well. The Thunder tire, the tread is very deep, and even with loose sand and thin, like dust, I did not lose control, which is surprising. Now here's an example of an uphill without ATR, and as you can see, both times the nose hit the ground and I had to jump. So, if I had set the board to the race position, this probably wouldn't have happened. So I turned up ATR, and the software took care of the rest for me. We rode, these trails until the stock XR ran out of juice. So it was about 13 miles of loose sand, speed, rocks, bunking and such, and the board still had like 80% battery. I'm telling you, the range of this board is ridiculous. We literally rode back at one point because we thought we were lost, and I was not worried at all because I knew that even if lost, I still had a ton of battery, to ride back home. Charge time is around 2 hours. The charger is a 5 amps charger, so the battery is 10 amp hours. So that's just the math. However, it does go up to 80% pretty quickly. I have found myself charging this board maybe once or twice per week. I use it to go on short rides, which are like 12 miles short rides, and I still have about 80% left. I use it to go to soccer, to visit friends, to do errands, and I never worried once if I had charged it before, because all those 4 or 5 mile rides fall within the 20% battery left range. It's ridiculous. Now, I think you can probably get a faster charger if you need to, but look at it this way. For every 30 minutes you charge, you get like 9 miles of range, which is ridiculous. I've said that a lot in this video and it for a reason. Okay, so here are the things that I don't like about the board. I don't like the lights because they're the same as the Funwheel X7 Sport. I had this complaint last year too. I don't think the lights are as bright as it can be. I mean, you can see them right now. That's 100% brightness. However, Fungineers has confirmed to me that starting February 2026, all boards will be shipped with their new super bright lights. Now, if you already have an X7 and you want to improve your lighting situation, you can pick them up in their website for $50, and it's all plug and play. You just disconnect the old lights and plug in the new lights, and that's it. Another thing I don't like about this board is weight. You've heard me in my previous videos. I think it is way too heavy for me because I'm a weak guy. I don't know. For example, when we went trail riding, there were some fallen trees which forced me to pick up the board and hop over the tree a lot. And after the 4th or 5th tree, I was like, okay, I'm ready to go home. I don't want to pick this up anymore. Now, this is something that may not matter to you. Maybe I'm just weak. I don't do, weights and stuff like that. But if you don't mind a 39-pound board, this is the whole package. Like, the weight, does help a lot to keep the board stable when you're riding fast and when you're riding, in general. So it is a trade-off. You get a big ass battery, you get incredible power, you get a lot of stability. You have to pay for it with weight, and that's it. I mean, you can probably shave some weight with a long-range powertrain and their new Superflux 5-inch motor that probably gives you like 6 or 5 pounds back. But still, this board overall, it's pretty good. Those are the only things that I don't like. I want brighter lights, which I'll probably just get from Fungineers, and I wish I could shave off some weight, which I might if I get the Superflux 5-inch motor, or if they send it to me. I don't know. I mean, I can dream. So overall conclusion. Okay, do I recommend this board? Yes, 100% I recommend it. Do I recommend it because I am sponsored? No. This board is seriously a game changer. It came pre-programmed out of the box. I changed the tune to my usual tune and I just started riding. I do recommend running a fresh IMU calibration and a new motor configuration, using Float Hub from the Float Life, because motors are not 100% identical, and I think it's just better to have your own custom calibration done in-house. But please, before you change anything about the board you got, make a backup with best tool. Always back up your board before you change anything, because you might change something and screw it up and then blame someone else and it's your fault, and you all you have to do was back it up. Back it up. If you fuck it up, you can back it up. If you can back it up, you can fuck it up. That turned out pretty good. That was improvised. Okay. If you want speed, you got it. You want torque, you got it. You want range, you got way more range than you need. And that's it, man. It's a really great board, and it's XR based. So that means you can customize it. You want to customize it, you got it. If I had to pay a full price for this board, retail price plus tariffs plus shipping plus customs, and end up with a $3,500 board being in Argentina, I would still buy it, because I think this board is amazing and gives you everything you could want with 0 mods out of the box. You have the rails, you have the range, you have the power, you have the speed, you got custom lights and stuff, and that's it. I think it's great. I want to thank Fungineers again for sending me this board, for the people from the community who helped me get it as well, and my wife for putting up with me while doing all this stuff, because I can be a pain in, and I'm sorry about that. If you want to support this channel, you can use my code. There's this code, to get your discount on your Funwheel board. You can also use this code to get a discount, a 5% discount on the Float Life, and that will help me a lot. And you can use this code for indie speed control products, because why the hell not? I'm just gonna throw everything out there. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this review, and see you on the next video, man. See you. Thank you. Subscribe, like, comment, do whatever. I don't know. Bye. Charge time. Okay, it is taping.